Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today I'm going to be talking about Star vs. the Forces of Evil. With the series finale now out, I wanted to make a video talking about the good and the bad of the show, a series review if you will. Now I absolutely love Star vs. I've loved it ever since I started watching it around 2 years ago, but that doesn't mean the show is perfect. There were a lot of things that I felt were wrong about the show. As many of you know, Cleaved was very controversial. It was mostly a love it or hate it kind of thing. I'm going to share my thoughts about it soon, but before I go any further, I want to mention that these are my own opinions. I'm sure that some of you will disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. I wanted to share my thoughts and how I would have liked the show to turn out. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the good. I think the best thing about the show is its characters, Star and Marco in particular. Each character we saw truly felt unique, and that is something that is hard to achieve. If you pay attention throughout the show, all of the main characters developed in some way. The easiest to see is Star. She went from this fun, loves everything and doesn't care about the consequences girl to a hard-working queen fit to rule an entire kingdom. The best thing about seeing the characters develop was that we could actually trace what caused them to mature throughout the show. Not to mention, nothing really felt sudden. The characters all had reasons for what they did. From the Tom-Star breakup to Moon going against Eclipsa, everything felt right. Now the thing that I believe hooked everyone onto the show in the beginning was the interaction between Star and Marco. At the start, they were both outcasts. Marco was trying to escape this safe kid persona, while Star was trying to escape St. Oga's. They both grew and matured together, which was in my opinion one of the best things about the show. When you have two great characters with a story that allows them to mature and grow, you get to see something truly great. Star and Marco made me laugh, cry, and shout with happiness when they overcame a problem. Star vs. the Forces of Evil would not be Star vs. without the exact Star and the exact Marco we see in the show. The voice actors did a fantastic job at really capturing their personalities. Star and Marco is the best thing that this show has, but sadly, that seems to have faded with time. Seasons 1 and 2 were all about the interactions between Star and Marco. That is what mostly Season 1 was focused on, and Season 2 started to pick up the plot quite a bit, but Seasons 3 and 4 are a completely different story. Season 3 started sad, with Star and Marco separated, but that's fine because it was all part of the Battle for Muni arc. After that, we had expected them to still be together. The problem is there were 3 episodes after that still had them separated. And that might not seem too bad, but you have to remember that those 3 episodes are each split up into 2 mini episodes, making a total of 6 episodes. And 4 of those episodes did not focus on the plot very much, so they were for the most part filler. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate filler, it can be fun and interesting. However, when you take away a central part of the show, which is Star and Marco's interactions, the episodes start to get boring, and you start wanting to see that Star and Marco interaction again. And in my opinion, 4 episodes with things that I don't really care as much about is too many episodes, especially when they're all put together in a row. But once they're back together, it's all good, right? Not exactly. Seasons 3 and 4 were mostly plot driven. There were some episodes sprinkled in that were filler, but for the most part it was focusing on bringing monsters and humans together, Meteora and Eclipsa. I think the biggest problem with the show is the timing. Seasons 1 and 2 had a lot of filler and less plot episodes. Seasons 3 and 4 had a lot of plot and less filler episodes. The plot of the show should have been spread out more. Not to mention the filler episodes were completely filler. There was not really any in-between on if the episodes were plot or filler. However, Season 4 did improve on this, a specific example being the Ponyhead show. It had a Ponyhead fun filler vibe while also trying to get Eclipsa's ratings up. This is an example of a good mix between the two. If we had more episodes like these in Seasons 1 and 2, Seasons 3 and 4 would feel less rushed, which goes hand in hand with the timing of the episodes. Because more than half of the plot was included in Seasons 3 and 4, it felt really rushed, especially at the ending of Season 4. One of the reasons why Cleaved is so controversial is because of how rushed it felt. Now I am sure that if Disney allowed it, the experience would have been a lot better, but that does not change the fact that Cleaved has a lot of issues. For one, Mina was taken out by a unicorn in the magic dimension. It felt very unsatisfying and was really just a tactic to get rid of her, which I honestly wish was not used. What they should have done was, instead of spending so much time of Season 4 on repeated Eclipsa development, had more Mina action so that there could be an epic showdown with Mina at the end. This would have been a lot more satisfying. Instead, 2 of the episodes before the show ends, the villain changes from Mina to Magic. Okay, that might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but with how rushed the show was, it felt like it turned its focus from 100% on Mina to 100% on destroying Magic. Introducing destroying Magic a couple of episodes earlier would have helped with that, but also having a showdown between Mina and some other queens would have helped dramatically. If instead of Mina being taken out by a unicorn and instead being taken out by the past queens, that would have given more purpose to the past queens, as well as made Mina's takedown feel a lot less forced. And if all this wasn't enough, destroying Magic has a whole bunch of other issues. I will probably make a separate video on that, but I think the show should have done something differently. Also, there should have been a Starko hug at the end of Cleaved. It felt really unrealistic to just have the two stand there and say hi to each other. So yeah, Cleaved was kind of a mess. Now I mentioned it earlier, but Season 4 had a lot of Eclipsa development. It also focused all around the same theme. It was mostly Eclipsa trying to be queen, but ultimately needing Star's help. This felt really redundant and led to Eclipsa being the focus of the show instead of it being Star and Marco. Now there are a lot of people that really like Eclipsa, and I agree, her character is cool, but Season 4 was missing a lot of Star and Marco interaction, and that is something that I missed from Season 2. The truth is, Star and Marco are the face of Star Versus. When you take away half of that, it just doesn't feel the same. That is my biggest problem with Seasons 3 and 4. They focused too much on the characters that were not Star and Marco. Star had a lot of development, but Marco felt left in the dust in comparison. The one episode he really got to shine in Season 3 was Deep Dive, when he used the wand. That was one of my favorite episodes in Season 3, and I wish we got to see more of the main characters doing amazing things other than Star. Honestly, I wish the entire story was changed. Well, not the entire story, maybe just after the battle for Muni. When the entire story shifted to Muni, I felt like we lost Marco's connection. The plot seemed to shift from things being Star and Marco's problem to Star's problem. Marco could have been absent from most of Season 3 and a large amount of Season 4, and the story could still have been written. To me, that is a problem. If you can just take out a central piece of the show and basically have the same show, then there's no point in having that other central piece. There has to be a reason for Marco being on Muni other than just being Star's friend, and that is something that was lacking in Seasons 3 and 4, with the exception of Cleave. Marco was a central part of Cleaved. It was through the power of friendship that Muni and Earth were both cleaved together, and in that regard, I liked Cleaved for its use of Marco. To put in general terms how I wish Season 3 and 4 went, I will make a title. Instead of having Eclipsa and Star versus the forces of evil, I would rather have seen Star and Marco versus the forces of evil, like it was back in Seasons 1 and 2. So as you can probably guess, my favorite season was Season 2. It had the interactions between Star and Marco, which I loved seeing, as well as a growing plot. If Season 3 focused more on Marco learning magic with the use of the wand, that would have given him purpose to be on Muni. And with that idea, I would have liked to see Eclipsa being evil and, quite frankly, better at magic. She was really hyped up, but then kind of let down at the end. I think that a huge showdown between Star and Marco versus Eclipsa and possibly Globgor in Season 4 would have been epic. Now I realize that that is against what the show's going for, but that is just what I would have liked to see in terms of an interesting story in my eyes. That way we still could have had Star and Marco's character develop while keeping their interactions and having a story that relies on both Star and Marco instead of mostly just Star. Now I do realize that this video did end up being more negative, and that's not really a good way to send off a show, but I wanted to give my honest opinion on it and what I would have changed. And again, I do love Star Versus, it was a great show. Could there have been some improvements? Of course, but everything can have improvements. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for me. If you did enjoy this video, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I haven't mentioned it in a long time, but I do have a Twitter and Instagram, so if you're interested in that, you can go follow me there. But that's gonna be it for me, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.
A good captain always goes down with his ship.